Hello, in this video I will show you how to remove and replace the front shock absorbers, the spring and strut support mount on BMW X5 E70. That's the shock absorber right there. There's a couple of components we need to remove before getting access to the shock absorber. First we need to remove this bolt. Then we need to remove the twist rod. Also we need to remove the bolt holding the shock absorber, and at the end we need to remove the shock absorber carrier. Just remove this bolt from the control arm that holds the shock absorber carrier. So first we remove this bolt for the upper control arm, and then we need to remove the control arm. If the video is useful, please like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Next we need to remove the control arm from its place. We need a pry bar that we'll put between in there, and then we need to knock underneath the control arm in order to take it out. And that's the control arm out. That's how you remove it. Next we're going to put an elastic rope just to hold the whole wheel hub in place, because if we don't hold it with an elastic rope, the drive shaft might come out. This is how I'm holding it in place, just to be staying in there. This way the drive shaft is not going to come out. Next I'm going to remove the upper part of the twist rod. Next I'm going to remove the bolt holding the shock absorber to the shock absorber carrier. And next I'm going to remove the bolt holding the shock absorber carrier to the lower control arm. I'm going to put the transmission jack underneath the control arm just to move the control arm up and down so that I can remove the bolt for the shock absorber carrier easier. And afterwards I can remove the transmission jack. Next we need to remove the bolts holding the upper part of the shock absorber, but to get to there First we need to remove those plastic covers, so we need to turn those bolts and just remove them. Now to get more access to the upper part of the shock, we need to remove this plastic cover. It's held by these two bolts. On the other side, except this plastic cover, so there's also the cabin filter housing that we need to remove. Now this plastic cover is removed, we have access to the three nuts holding the shock absorber. That's one nut, second nut, and that's the third nut. So we need to remove those nuts and then we can take out the shock absorber. So now we can take out the shock absorber, but first we need to remove it from the shock absorber carrier. In order to remove it from there, somebody needs to hold the carrier while while the other guy pulls out the shock absorber. You need to turn the shock absorber and pull it up while somebody, like I said, holds down the carrier, and it will come out. And that's the shock absorber out. Now I need to go to the bench and change whatever needs to be changed. In my case, I'm going to be changing the shock absorber and the strut support mount. I'm using a spring compression tool to compress the spring so that I can remove the upper nut of the shock absorber and replace the shock and the support mount. Now that I've compressed the spring, I can remove the upper nut. Now that I removed the nut, I can remove the support mount, and then I have to just look out at how you remove everything so that you can put everything back in the reverse order afterwards. I'm using a pry bar to release the support mount from the spring. Now I can remove the shock absorber. First I'll check if the shock absorber is the same. If it's the same, I can start assembling everything. From the old shock absorber, I'm going to be removing this rubber where the spring is sitting, and I'll put this rubber on the new shock. And now I can put on the new shock onto the spring, and then put on the dust cover and everything else that needs to be put on. After putting the dust cover, we need to put this bushing, and then we can put on the support mount, and then we can afterwards we put another bushing, and then the washer and the nut at the end. Now we can tighten the nut, and after tightening the nut, we can remove the spring compression tool and then put the shock absorber back on the car. Putting the shock absorber back on the car is done in the reverse order. First we need to put the shock absorber in its place and then put it into the shock absorber carrier and push it down as much as possible, and then catch the shock absorber on top with the 3 nuts, and then afterwards assemble everything else. Yeah, we can see that the shock absorber is into its carrier. Now we can put on the bolt to hold it in, and also now we can put it inside the top part of it. And that's it. Hopefully the video was helpful. Thank you for watching.